So, like the title says, I crashed our corporate party dressed as Art the Clown, and it was an interesting experience, and the people's reactions were also quite interesting and unexpected. And I'm gonna tell you all about it, but first, a bit of context. Okay, so every year at work we have this sort of a New Year celebration. Pretty much just going to a fancy lunch or dinner and some drinks and stuff, just a simple get together to celebrate the, like successful year or whatever. But for the past few years we've had events. Yeah. And in 2022, we had a costume party. Now, I'm not a cosplayer, and I practically never been to a costume party before. I mean, the closest I ever came was a party that a friend threw, and it wasn't really a costume party, it was just a regular party, but we had a dress code that was like, put something on your head. I got a pirate hat and the scarf and the eye patch and the sword. And then there was the little parrot on my shoulder. And I'm kind of proud of that parrot. It was I think it was a nice touch. And that was pretty much it, my entire experience with the costume parties. I'm not sure if I ever went to one even when I was a kid. I really can't remember, maybe I did, but I don't know. But as an adult, that was it. Until 2022, we had a costume party at work, and the theme was a character from a movie or a TV show, and I went looking like this. People liked it. They loved it. Maybe because of the character. I don't know, because Heisenberg is quite popular, right, with the crowds, and it was a simple costume. Just a hat and glasses. I had to buy the hat, of course, but the rest was just regular clothes, nothing special. I think actually people were impressed and amazed that I shaved my head actually for the party. Nobody expected that. I told nobody at work, so they had no idea. And when they saw my bald head, they were like, "Oh my God, you're insane!" Like, are you crazy? You shaved your head for a stupid costume party? Yeah, I like details. Anyway, so that was back in 2022. Then the next year we had another costume party, and this time we had karaoke. And the theme was a music star or a musician or something. And I came looking like this. That was my costume. So anyway, once again it was a resounding success, and people liked my costume, even the ones that didn't know who I was supposed to be, and we even had a competition. It was the best costume and the best performance, karaoke performance. So it was a tie between me and these other two girls that they came together and they sang together and spent the entire evening together, so they counted as one. So it was me against them, and we all won. Yeah, it was a tie in the end, which was for the best, I guess. But anyway, that's a whole different story, and I may tell it one day, but not at this point. Last year, 2024, we had another party, of course, like we do every year. So I figured it would be a costume party again, probably karaoke, maybe something more. And back in November, I had this idea of coming to the party dressed as Art the Clown, regardless of the theme. I was gonna come dressed as Art, and that was it. So I tried to find the costume, I couldn't find it here, so I had to order it from overseas, from China, because where else? and I had to order it back then, at the end of November or start of December, so it would arrive in time for the party. I ordered the suit and the mask and a few more props, like face paint and fake blood and a few more things, the horns, the bicycle horns and stuff like that. And then I learned that we're not having a costume party and we're not having karaoke, we're not having anything this year. you know uh, we had a live band, but that was a questionable decision because they throughout the entire evening they played some terrible folk music. People were having fun, but then again, when you get drunk, everything is fun, right? So the music sucked. We didn't have anything other than the live band, and I was really bummed when I learned. I learned about this around the mid-December, by which time it was already too late. The things that I ordered had already shipped a long time, and I was really bummed. Since I already ordered all those things, I already invested money in it. It wasn't much, maybe, I don't know, maybe $60-$70 in total, but still, you know, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I decided, maybe it's not a costume party, but I'm going to have a costume party, right? I don't care, screw you guys. So over the next few days, I tried the costume several times, and I modified the mask somewhat, and here it is, and I widened the eye slits a little bit. I cut out the teeth, and I put this rubber band. So I cut the entire back part of the head. And I made it like this, and it was okay considering the price. Like I said, it was $18 on eBay, so I think it could have been modified some more if I had the time and then the patience, but it was good enough. And so I tried it on, like I said, several times, and I recorded myself to see what it would look like. So here's a little video montage of those tryouts, and there's two of them, and I added the music. So one is with the dark and gloomy music, and the other one is with a silly clown music, and I think they both work pretty well. So enjoy. So as you can see, it looks good, I think, considering, like, once again how much it all cost me. You know, it was good enough. So anyway, time of the party. So the day came, and it was just a regular day. I pretended like there was nothing going on, and I just went along with everybody, even though I knew I was going to come to the party dressed as Art. But I pretended like nothing's out of the ordinary. So the evening came. I went to the party. We had a dress code. It was elegant, and I dressed elegantly, as elegant as I could. And I went around 9 p.m. and I spent the first 2 hours just mingling around and talking to people, and everybody saw me. Some of them were joking, actually. They were like, "Where's your costume? You know, why are you wearing those clothes? Why aren't you in your costume?" Well, like, funny, really funny jerks. But all the while I'm thinking, okay, just you wait. There'll be a costume. Just wait. So around 11 p.m. I decided it was time. I lingered around for long enough, for people to see me and don't suspect me when I return in a costume. And so I went to the office, which is right above that club where we were having the party. It's in the same building. The club is on the ground floor and our office is right above. So I went upstairs and I changed into a costume. It took me about 15 minutes or so, and I went back to the party. And then I sat there at the table at the entrance. It was funny, actually. These two guys just came around the corner. Then he comes around the corner and sees me, and then confused disappears. Then he brings another guy, and I can't see them because I'm sitting here, and I'm just seeing them just coming here, then leaving behind the wall, and then coming back, and then leaving again. Eventually I decided it was enough of sitting around, and I got up from the table and went to the corner where my co-workers were at. And in the meantime, on the other end, our supervisor, she saw me and she had no idea who I was, right? Because I was in a costume. And she alerts Big Boss and the Mini Boss, and none of them has any idea who I am. They thought I was just some random guy that came off the street to crash the party, because they saw me mingling around 15 minutes earlier. So then the mini boss comes up to me and he grabs my arm and he starts pulling me towards the entrance, and he's like, "Come here, I need to ask you something." I can't talk because Art doesn't talk, and he's a mute, and I'm a mute because I'm in the role. I thought he knew it was me, because who else is crazy and immature enough to do something like that. And I thought he was going to reprimand me for not only coming in a costume to a non-costume party, but also because it was a costume of a murderous clown. But a moment later he asks, "Do we know each other?" And then I knew he had no idea it was me. It was so I wave my hands like, and he's like, "Sir, this is highly inappropriate. This is a private party. Please leave the building." Then, so I'm refusing to leave, right? And he gets even more pissed off. He's like, "Who are you?" And he grabs my nose and pulls the mask down. And he had to use a lot of force because this band is pretty tight, So he pulls down my mask, and he still can't say can't tell it's me. because I look like this. And he gets even madder. He's like, who are you? And then I finally tell him. And he's like, man, what's wrong with you? You're insane. You scare the people in there. You know, you freak them out. If anything, I thought they would be like, look at this idiot, you know. How old are you? You know, I certainly didn't expect anyone to be freaked out or scared or whatever. But they were. So anyway, he ruins my costume, and now I have to go back up there to the office to fix it. So I did, and it took me another maybe 10 minutes or so, and I got back to the party. But I did something that irks me to no end. You know, I just, a few days after the party, when I finally got my hands on a photograph, I saw that my hat was in the wrong place. It was here, like this, on my forehead, instead of here, you know, like it was before Miniboss ruined my costume. I thought that maybe throughout the rest of the evening, somebody knocked it forward, you know, accidentally or whatever. But when I saw the security camera footage, I saw that actually I left the office with a hat here. Why? I have no idea, you know, and it really annoys me, really. But you know what you're gonna do. It is what it is. So I fixed my costume, kinda, and got back to the party. And people now knew that it was me. So I goofed around and trolled people a little bit, not as much as I wanted to, and not in the way I wanted to. You know, if it was a costume party and I spent the entire evening in the costume, I would probably use more art moves. I would definitely do that fake blood and stuff, but yeah, you know, there just wasn't time. This entire second part of the event lasted maybe 15-20 minutes, I think. You know, I'm one of those people who know that every joke has its lifespan, and I didn't want to run it into the ground. I didn't want it to get stale. So I left the party when it was at the peak, I think, you know. There was this girl, after I returned in my regular clothes, she was like, man, I really wanted to take a photo with you, but you're back, you know, and I said, oh, sorry, you know. I would have changed back into the costume if it didn't, you know, take me 15 minutes and then 25-30 minutes to remove the face paint and everything else. So that was it, you know. I just figured better to leave now while it's still interesting than you know, like I said, run it into the ground and, you know, become boring. So I left. After that I returned in my regular clothes and, you know, talked to people. And like I said, I learned that they were genuinely scared. Some of them freaked out, which was highly unexpected. What I also absolutely didn't expect was how many people actually wanted to take a selfie with me, you know. It was ridiculous. And I can bet anything that at least 80% of those people, possibly even all of them, had no idea who Art the Clown is, you know, but they were like, who? The guy in a spooky clown costume, you know. Let's take a... I don't know. It turned out I was the life of the party, you know, unexpectedly. I'm glad I did it, you know, and people were amused, you know. I brought some fun to the party. That, like I said, the music sucked and some of the people were getting quite bored, so I guess I came right on time, you know. So anyway, that was the experience. Like I said, it was funny and interesting, at least to me and to the people that were there at the party, and that's it. I don't know how to top that. If we have a costume party next year, I have no idea what to do. I mean, I have ideas, but this was my peak, so to say. Anyway, that's pretty much it, and thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.